So you're just starting the game and you just got the Alchemist. Take the next quest, Scavenger Staff, because it's right below where the Alchemist Vault is located. So we just picked up the Alchemist and we're sitting up on top of a hill. We just came out of the very top and run over here and we're going to glide down to a cave where the Scavenger Stash is located. Defeat the enemies in the Scavenger Cave. We're right here and open the chest and take the weapon. So we basically got the Wailing Blade. And the reason why we wanted to record this was because in Wake of the Water, they have certain weapons now that you can make at the blacksmith or other crafters that can grow with you as you level. Now, they're not in-game level, but what was interesting in my last playthrough is that I saw how much damage the Wailing Blade did when I hit level 45. So in this playthrough, basically, I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to keep this. Normally, I destroy it or salvage it, because I'm playing magic build. So let's just see. Also notice when you get back to the blacksmith, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the stats here. We're 814 with a gem slot. So when we look at the blacksmith, we can craft the Wailing Blade. It is 9, up to level 9 at this point. And I'm not going to level it or make one at this point. Well, yeah, I am. I need metal sheets. So let me get the goods and let's make this. So we have the resources to make the Wailing Blade. You look at this base lore item 6 to 11, and at the flame level, I'm currently level 2. I'm going to see whether it scales when I go to flame level 3. So let's go ahead and make it. And what we're going to do is do a compare. So this is the one we picked up. It's legendary. This is the one we just made. It is not. It is rare. So 619. Let's see what happens when you go to 9. And we're going to level this one to 8. All right, so I leveled this Wailing Blade, the legendary, to 8. And it does 30.8. And these are the stats that you get off of it. With a gem slot, I did pick up a Gem of Burning while fishing. Check that out later. Then this is the one we made. We level it to 9 and it's only 29.9. So we're going to see whether it scales as we level our flame, strengthen our flame. Now, what's interesting about this one is that it requires you to burn legendary runes. And in the early game, you may not have enough to get this one up to its highest level. So that's just a factor to think about when you're investing your legendary runes early game if you're melee. I'm not melee, but I'm going to watch these two. There's certainly other weapons. There's the Dragon Flame Sword, which I love as a melee player, that you get when you get to Nomad. And then there's another two-handed blunt weapon that you get that scale. So we'll see as we're progressing in this playthrough. All right, so the cool thing about doing a playthrough is that your high-level character can bring you good stuff. So this is the Wailing Blade we just got. We're level 6 on this character. This is the one we made at the blacksmith. And this is one my high-level 45 character made. It does have a gem slot on it. It's level 39 and does 88. So the difference between the one that I just made at level 6 with the blacksmith in this playthrough is certainly low. And what I'm going to be doing is seeing how it scales. Now, again, when you hit level 45, you're going to have much better weapons. So I just have one survivor right now and getting ready to deploy the Alchemist. All right, we just did the Wailing Blade walkthrough. The next one is Hailscourge. So let me go to my bag. So Wailing Blade, when we picked it up and we capped it out. Here is Hailscourge. We picked it up and capped it out, 41.6. It is an ice piercing. So this is one of my favorite one-handed, or used to be when playing melee character. So we're able to make it at the Blacksmith, and you can see here it caps out at level 14, and it has 40.3, so slightly less than the epic version that we pick up out of a chest in Lone Thistle when we're getting the Alchemist Motar. So we picked this up out of a graveyard, and we capped that one out. Had my high level make a version of this at level 45. So now I can afford to upgrade this level 39 version of Hailscourge. So we look at the stats. So the original 15, I leveled it to 15, is 41.6. At level this one at the same time to level 14, it is 40.3. And at level 39, from my end game character, it is 88.4. So here are the stats. Now I save these and put them on the wall so that I can monitor them or use them as we're going through. So we talked about this one. We talked about this one. Let's talk about other weapons. So daggers. This is the Valor Heart dagger, and this one is the Sacrificial Vuka dagger. So you get these very early in the game. This is when you get to Blackmire, and then for the trader, we get staves. So let's look at the staves next. So as far as the Staff of the Serpent, one of the quests that you get, you can see here, cap level is 12. It does 16.8 damage in here, poison, venomous blade, blah, blah, blah. And then when you craft the staff at the trader, here you can see that it will scale as your flame scales, and I'll continue to monitor that. And then also you get a quest for the Sword of the Serpent. This is part of the New Year quest line. Then you get a bow and all of that. But I wanted to cover the weapons that scale. Here we have a bow, the Draconian bow when you get to Nomad. I picked that up because I'm in Nomad now by the time I can return back to this video. So yeah, I'm keeping these. Normally I destroy them because I'm not melee. And then later on when we get to Nomad, we get a two-handed blunt. I think it's Soothsayer or something like that. We'll monitor that one, but the scaling is a very interesting concept or idea. But again, when you get to higher levels, you're probably going to get better one-handed or better weapons that you're going to want to use in endgame. So that's going to be it for scaling. I just wanted to cover it because I found it very interesting in this new release of Wake of the Water. So until that next one, happy gaming.